when you go through traumatic situations, whether it's past relationships or just past just situations in general, it just kind of makes you feel like your kind of self-worth is kind of like, oh, you're just like your confidence is
Mm.
shattered and you're just like, well, this may be all there is for me.
What up, y'all? I'm Rajay,
And I'm Shy, and welcome to the RXS Podcast.
the podcast where we provide inspiration, motivation, and information to the music community. Gang.
Yes. Hey, so what are we talking about today?
Leaving the familiar
Hmm.
and finding a new community,
Wow.
and what that means for growth and self-development.
Wow. That's
This is a
big.
very close to home type of vibe,
Mhm.
and I think this will be inspirational for people who are trying to come into who they are,
That's
apart
big.
from what they are used to or how they were raised or what people expect.
Sounds
So
good.
I think Jameer want to talk to y'all. Hi, we hope y'all enjoy the pod. Peace. What up, y'all? I'm here with Adriane. I do not call her Adriane. I call her AJ the girl. But we up in here. AJ, what's goody?
What's up, bro?
How you doing?
I'm good.
When is the last time we've seen each other? So the people know.
Years ago. It's been a while.
When did we meet each other so people will know?
At church.
Do you know what year it was?
Oh, early 2000s. MySpace was out then. That's how long ago that was. We telling our age now. Yeah.
Yo, how have you been though?
I've been good. You know. Wife life, mom life.
Yes,
working,
it's real deal.
all the things.
We are really grown.
We are grown.
Like,
that's wild.
Yes, we
Who
are
let
married.
us become adults?
It's insane. I'm like, AJ is married and she has a son. Wow.
Yes, a
we are
whole
no
child.
longer children.
No longer children. We're raising
Yeah.
children.
It is crazy.
Yes, crazy. It's insane. Time
But
flies.
good. Everything good?
Everything is good. All is well.
Yes. Come on, family. Black family. Black love. We out here.
Yes.
All right. So listen, I want to do what we always do.
Okay.
I want to go all the way back to the beginning.
Okay.
Where were you born?
Greenville, North Carolina, 252. Stand up.
Gang. What was it like growing up in Greenville?
Oh, gosh. Greenville is like a town where everybody knows everybody,
Yeah.
you know, home
Yeah.
of East Carolina Pirates. You
Yeah.
know, barbecue, you're going to get some Parkers, you're going to get some chicken, you know. It's just a family town,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, yeah, that's my roots.
Did you grow up in a musical family?
You know, I did. My great-grandmother, she was over the children's choir growing up.
Let's
and so
go.
she was a singer herself. My mom, she sings. She sung in the choir. My grandma, my family. And my dad, actually, he's a musician. And
Gang.
all of my siblings, they sing, they play. My brother plays bass, keys, drums.
Yeah.
Yeah, on both sides, literally.
Yes.
Literally.
So were you singing early?
Yes, when I say my great-grandmother did not play with me, when she found out I had a gift, that was it. She said, you're going to get in this choir and you're going to sing. And
So was she like Maddie Moss Clark type?
yeah, she was my Maddie Moss. Literally, she was our Maddie Moss at our church. Like, she did not play about those children. It was like Sunshine Band times 10. Like, yeah, I could not get out of doing a solo. If I said, Grandma, my stomach hurts, my throat hurts, I would come up with every excuse in the world not to sing. And yeah, she made sure she gave me that mic to sing. And that
You just had to do it.
I had to do it.
Were you nervous?
Of course. But she did not care. What? You're going to get up here and you're going to sing to the glory of God.
To the
Amen.
glory of
To
God.
the glory of God. She used to say that baby got an anointing.
Anointing.
You know, an anointing. Yeah, so that's where it started. That's Rouse's Chapel.
Okay.
It was Rouse's Chapel, then Rouse's Abundant Life. So, yeah.
So first of all, we got to get, because I didn't know that.
Yes, I grew up in Rouse's Chapel.
And
We
your
would-
grandmother was the choir director at Rouse's?
Yes, for the children. For the
the
children.
children?
Of course, Bishop Jesse Jones was over the music.
Gang,
the GOAT.
gang, the GOAT.
The GOAT. So, yeah,
So like,
those two were my foundation.
for most of your life, Rouse's has been your church.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yes.
Hey, yo, I'm blown away because I didn't know that. Okay, so you're in the choir,
Mm-hmm.
you singing,
Mm-hmm.
and then you just continue to like, as you grow up, you just like switch to different choirs?
Yeah, we had multiple choirs. So, the children's choir, the young adult choir, and then
Yeah.
there, you remember Rebirth Choir.
Gang,
Yes, that
gang.
was Bishop's, that was his choir. We would sing and,
Yeah.
travel. And that's when I was soprano. Then, after you have a baby, that voice get a little, alto me, please. Please.
So
But yeah, that was my foundation. Yep.
So how old were you when you went to the next choir? How long were you in? First of all, how long were you in the children's choir? That's first.
Yeah. I was in the now, like, okay. So typically you be in children's choir, you graduate high school, and then, but even before high school, I started singing with the young adult choir when I got into my early teens. But we would still get up there to help cultivate the children and help, what I'm saying, fill in the gaps. And my grandma was saying, y'all get up here, y'all come on and help these babies. Because I know I was early 20s still coming up there to help them babies. So, but yeah, it was fun. Like we would help with rehearsals, choir rehearsals. I would help my grandmother, my mom and I would help my grandmother pick out the songs. We're like, grandma, the kids can sing this. Like it was just yeah.
So did you have relationships with the children?
Yeah, I saw a lot of them grow up. A lot of them are like, oh my gosh, I feel so old. A lot of them have grown up, graduated high school, went to college, like they have moved on. I'm not sure like all the children who's there now, but since I don't live in the area, but we definitely, those were our babies. That was everybody's babies.
So did you ever get to the point as you're growing, helping your mom and your grandma, getting into other choirs, did you ever get to the place where you did become confident or not nervous?
Yeah, because I also sung on the praise team, and so that is a whole different level of, you have to have a whole different type of confidence. Choir and praise team are two different type of capacities.
So talk about the difference.
The difference with praise team is like you're on the forefront and you are opening up the service. You are helping to create and set the atmosphere to make it conducive for the preacher. And so that is such a huge responsibility. Not saying that if you're a choir member, that's not a responsibility, but it's just a different assignment, if you will.
Yeah. Was it tough going into that? Or did you kind of fall into it?
Kind of just like fell into it. And, of course, like Jess and the girls that I grew up with.
Because that's another part. Okay, so let's talk about that.
Yeah.
It is definitely easier when you're with the homies and they actually dope.
Yeah.
And like you and I share a very similar story where it's kind of like you grow up with dope people and that's just what it is.
Yeah.
Cause like that's just what it was.
That's what it was.
So like a lot of people ask me like different questions about like were things difficult or was it tough? And it's kind of like, no. Because everybody was kind of just good.
Yeah, yes. Like they knew, these girls can sing or whatever. Our parents, they pushed us, they encouraged us, and we were the praise team. And
yes. Yeah. So let me ask you this. With such a huge responsibility, you got the church thing going. Mm-hmm. You on the front line every Sunday?
Well, now I serve at the River Church now.
Yeah.
Yes, so I do not lead worship every Sunday. We are on a rotation, but
back then was it every Sunday?
Back then it was more frequently leading, and so so that is a huge development when you're
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So what I want to ask you about though is, with all of that going on in church, what is life like when you're not at church?
In general?
Yes. What were y'all like? What was going on?
Back in the day?
Yeah.
Well, of course, like we were in school. Like I was in high school, getting ready to go to college. So, of course, it was like school life. I was a cheerleader. Yeah. I was, doing my thing with that. And then also we started, a couple of us started singing with another group. I don't know if you remember Marquis 6.
Of course.
Marquis 6. And so we had that and church. It was like extracurricular, like, but still singing. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's like our hobby is singing.
Yes, literally. I was like 19, singing, gigging in Virginia, Raleigh. Like we were in high school, college, like young, up and down the road, singing at different. concerts, and it
Yeah,
was
y'all
just,
were singing. Like, y'all life was singing.
it was singing,
Like,
literally.
that's it. That's literally it.
Yes, and I mean, I had some regular, teenage years hanging out with my friends at school. So I
Yeah.
was not like, I'm going to a party. I didn't have that. You know what
So
I'm saying?
was it not in you, or were you not allowed to go?
Well, I would say that my mom, of course, she was, didn't want me to just get into everything
Yeah,
like at a
yeah,
young
yeah,
age. But
absolutely.
as I grew older, I did have a little more freedom, but I would go to different things, but it was not like I was pressed. I knew I was different. Like I wanted to
Yeah.
so badly not be the church girl.
Wow. So you tried to fight being the church girl.
Oh yeah, because
Why?
I had friends who were not churched and I had friends who were in church. And so I was like, when you're a church girl, you get labeled, oh, such a good girl. You know what I'm saying?
And you're like,
So-
I'm not such a good
But the
girl.
whole time I am a church girl. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
But you didn't
girl.
like the stigma of them saying, hey, man, you
yes, it's like, guys, I can't go out tonight. I have a church. We have revival. I have choir rehearsal.
like that was your life though.
That
like,
was my
low key,
life.
low key.
Yes.
And
But,
it is annoying. It is annoying for people to kind of be like, you the church person.
Yes.
Or like, even like now as an adult, I appreciate the respect.
Oh,
but
I
at
appreciate
the time, like people be like, don't cuss in front of him. I'm like, why not?
yeah.
Jesus, y'all are killing me here.
I'm telling you. And
Hey, turn that music off. What do you mean,
I'm
man?
telling you. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, cut that down. It's like, what do you think? I just listen to Kurt Franklin every day? You know what I'm saying? So it was just weird.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to live a balanced life, but at the same time, I knew that was a huge part of my life, music and church. And so I'm very appreciative of my
Yes.
upbringing and my foundation.
So you were trying to the running wasn't working?
No.
Like you tried it.
Clearly,
So like,
it's still not working.
so listen. In your attempt to run, what is the most not church thing that you tried to do?
Oh, in general, like, of course, like everybody had their days where their times where they wanted to go to the club and they tried to but even then, it's just
weird.
like, it's like,
All right.
and not to be judgmental, like, oh, I don't belong here. I'm so deep. I'm with the sinners. No, not that. It's just when you are set apart, no matter how hard you try. But I think when you go to college, that's a different discovery. Everybody.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a different discovery.
So what was that like for you?
College life, you have more freedom, so you are exposed to more things, of course. So definitely exploring that party scene and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just like God was like, okay, rolling back in. Still,
So
I didn't leave church or anything like that, but it's just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it difficult you trying to balance that or figure that out? Because at this point, I could imagine you like, because you have more freedom, you want to know certain things that you weren't able to.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I want to try this. I want to go here. Let me
Now,
see.
I didn't try everything. I was like, hold on, y'all doing too much. But I am thankful for the college experience. I felt like just moving away from home, meeting new people. I think everyone should.
And that's important
at some point in your life.
For you in particular, because I know personally, like your whole life before college was like these 13 people.
Yeah, like this area,
and
or
this
just
one
or
corner, and this one house, this one.
Yes. And so after college, that just made me more brave to, explore. And I graduated from North Carolina Central University.
Gang,
Eagle Pride. But before that, I actually auditioned at Berkeley College of Music. And so I was going to move to Boston.
Okay, what happened?
So it's hella expensive. Like, I'm not gonna say hella. Church girl. Okay. It was super expensive, and so it was just like, okay, well, it's okay. I auditioned by myself. Went to Boston by myself. Auditioned.
Okay, wait. From your perspective, why do you think parents say because I said so?
I feel like it could either mean that they know that what they're saying isn't right, so they just say that.
If they're telling you to do something and they say because I said so, why would they tell you to do something wrong?
All I know is sometimes parents don't know like how to like deal with situations other than how they were treated when they were kids. And it can be where their parents told them because they said so. And it's like, oh, that's all I know, so I'm gonna just treat my kid like this.
Hi, this is Nay, and that was Nay's Place. If you want to catch more, search Nay's Place on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and RXS Entertainment YouTube channel.
For people who don't know, explain to them why By Myself is so important to you.
Because I felt like that was like a huge level of independence for me. Self-discovery, like I am stepping out to do something that's already scary, and I'm stepping out and I'm going by myself. I'm traveling by myself. I was maybe like 23. I'm not sure. I was super young. But yeah, that was a huge thing for me. And I did get in. But yeah, I ended up going a different route. I ended up going to North Carolina Central, and that's when I established Raleigh Durham as my home.
Yeah. Did it hurt your feelings to not be able to go to Berkeley?
It did, but I was still just so proud of myself because I did that.
To be accepted.
Yeah, to be accepted.
And to go on your own.
Oh my God,
that's an accomplishment
that was
within
a
itself.
huge accomplishment. And I did not beat myself up over not going, but I knew, okay, it's time to leave my area. I'm going to leave one way or the other.
Yes.
You know, not to down the area that I came from, but I knew there was more. And so I had a plan B in the back of my head. And I said, okay, I'm going to try this route. And yeah.
So talk to me about, so people who know you and your friends, y'all grew up together singing, y'all did everything together, like literally inseparable. Literally inseparable. And then there comes a time when you go to college and they are not there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like?
I think it was a huge moment of just like self-discovery and just also, you know, knowing that it's okay to branch out and meet other people. And, you know, seasons change. It does not mean love is lost. It just means different area. Everybody's growing in different areas. And so I'm still proud of myself for even taking the step to, you know, take on a new territory. And so, Raleigh Durham is my home. I've been there for 10 years now.
Yes.
10 years. And so, and I still go back and visit, you know, visit family because I still have a great majority of family who's there. And so, Greenville will always be home.
Right.
Period.
So you're in Raleigh Durham, you're in college, you're meeting new people, and then you start to sing with other people too?
Yeah. So for a while, I was just super focused on school. I was getting ready to graduate. I was like just focused, and I was just not actually pressed to find another place of worship at the time because, you know, when you grow up somewhere, you're not ready to, you know, move past that, or you're kind of nervous to step into new areas or new territories, unfamiliar places. But a very close friend of mine, my best friend, she invited me to church one day, and she was like, come with me, come to the river. We're having Bible study. I was like, girl, I do not want to go to this church. Like, I was just like, I'm not doing that right now. I'm not. And so, but I gave in and I ended up visiting. I was like, wow, this is something that's different about this place. And I started visiting, and she was like, you know, you can sing on the praise team. I was like, oh no, ma'am.
So
I turned her down. Like, I was like, I did not come here to sing, didn't come here to serve. I would literally go there and sit in the back because I didn't want to be nobody to talk to me.
So going into Raleigh Durham, going to college, because you're in college at this time, about to graduate? Or
So this is like 2017. I graduated in 2017 because I went back to school. So Central was not my first school after high school. I had went back to school. So
I got you.
I was getting ready to graduate in 2017. So, and I visited the river literally a year before I even became a member.
Because you're trying to do life in the opposite way of what you've always done it.
Yes,
like I'm always singing, I'm always serving, I'm always on the praise team, I'm always leading.
Yeah.
I just want to chill.
Yeah, literally, I had no intentions of being on the praise team or serving in any capacity. I would literally go sit in the back, get my work, go home, do my homework, and just, you know, I was a little closed off for a little period. And so,
why?
I just like past experiences in general just made me have a guard up. And so I was a little afraid to let new people in and have new experiences. So even my current best friend, I did not just like let her in as a friend immediately. It took time for those walls to come down. And so I'm thankful that she invited me that day. Had she not invited me to church that Tuesday night, I mean, that literally changed the whole trajectory of where my life is now.
Yeah. What made you pull the walls down?
Something kept telling me to just keep going, keep going, keep going. And I kept getting fed differently each time. Like the word was literally breaking down those walls. The word of God,
Okay.
the
Okay.
atmosphere.
So wait. Let's go back. So okay. So you're home, then you go to college. When you get to college, you already have these walls up.
Yes, when I get to college, towards the end of college, I had these walls up, and so a bunch of things had transpired, and it just made me really guarded with people. And I'm just focused on school. I don't care about anything else. So, I would visit churches here and there, and just nothing was just like a fit for me because I knew I would be in Raleigh Durham after graduating.
Yeah.
So, going back and forth to home just was not an option for me anymore. So I said, I gotta find something here, start establishing this as my home. Wow. But the more I went to the river, the more I began to heal. I started letting people in. I started getting involved. I joined the praise team. I auditioned. And everything was full circle. Everything was full circle.
So do you feel like having a church home helps in healing processes?
For sure. I think covenant is such a huge thing. You have to be planted. I think people think you can just open your phone or your computer and you stream, or you go here and there casually at a church of your choice and that's enough to get by. No, you have to have community. You have to have fellowship. You have to get planted, get involved, get to know your pastor. And one thing that made me even more comfortable was that my bishop, Ronald Gobby, he has a meeting with new members and he, just says, hey, I'm not here. Let me know. How are you? Get to know you. And so I was just like, wow, this is different,
Yeah.
Okay, and then so, it was just a different place for me. I call the river a healing place because when you come, you're not the same person.
Yeah.
When I first started going there, I was not the same person. I was so just like bitter, hurt, just guarded. But I thank God for the healing that resides in that ministry.
Absolutely. So after you were going to church, but what was your process like at home every day to get through the healing process?
That was a really isolated period for me. However, that time I was just like really just getting into those deep areas. It's like spending time with myself. God was showing me myself, what needed to heal, how I needed to heal. And, that was the only way I was able to move forward, like being okay with being alone for that period.
And that's the thing. That's the thing about life that can be tricky. Mm-hmm. Like when you grow up, my story.
Yeah.
From age 12 till about 17, 18, I spent my whole life with one group of people. Mm-hmm. And they become your people. Mm-hmm. Good, bad, indifferent. Mm-hmm. Fights, betrayals, issues, good days, bad days. Yeah. They're your people.
Yeah.
You develop as a person directly connected to those people. Mm-hmm. So the whole true, authentic self of you by yourself ain't never really been developed.
Right.
Because it is in association with the homies.
Yeah.
So you get to a place where it's like, okay, adulthood puts you in a place where I'm Dolo and this is weird. Mm-hmm. And this I didn't like. I didn't realize that I had a problem with this until I'm by myself.
Yeah.
Now let's deal with it.
Exactly. And of course I had other friends. Like I had friends that I had went to college with. They were close friends and they would check in on me and things like that. Or I'm like, girl, y'all go ahead. I don't want to. I just really did not want to go. Yes. But it was very healing for me because it showed me me. And so when you learn you, that's when you're able to not place blame on people. It can even take you back to childhood. And it's like, okay, this is why I'm this way because of A, B, and C. And so, and
being okay, AJ, with saying that.
Yes.
Because it's a hard conversation to have with yourself when you have to deal with the root of any issues.
Yeah.
And to get to a place where you're you're beyond hurt enough to take accountability.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I've been in places where it's like, I would not have been this way if you did not.
Yeah, you can't. No, because God. One thing about God, He gonna give you a mirror, and He's gonna show you. One way or another, He'll get you by yourself, and He's like, okay, this is you. Yeah, you might think it's this person, but no, it's actually you.
Woo.
You know what I'm saying? It's actually you. And so I'm thankful for that period. That it's like a year and a half of just like a growing pains, healing, self-discovery, self-awareness.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how do you feel now?
I feel like, oh my gosh, sometimes I don't even recognize myself. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, wow, like even just, the life that I live now, I didn't think that was possible for me.
Why didn't you think it was possible?
Oh my gosh, when you grow up and you see things happening for people, or just even like the way you grow up, you have this mentality like, I'm not sure if that's in the cards for me. I don't know if that's God's plan for me. I had a hard time believing that, oh, I'm going to get married, I'm going to have a family, or I'm able to do this. But God showed me that that's possible. You just have to trust me. Trust me in your dark season. Trust me in your waiting seasons. Trust me in your isolation season. Trust me to take a
Hold up.
step.
We gotta take a break because you gotta be mommy. What up, y'all? I'm Rajay, and I'm interrupting the pod to present an opportunity for y'all to support the brand and the fam. So do this for me. Head over to rajxshy.com, click the merchandise tab, and grab a hoodie, t-shirt, or hat. And remember this thing, no matter what people say or think, live your life. Now back to the episode. We are back. Your son and your husband are okay. I checked on them.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
So I want to go back to what you were saying when you said you were in a place where you didn't feel like you could have those things, like you would ever have those things.
Yeah, just like when you go through traumatic situations, whether it's past relationships or just past situations in general, it just kind of makes you feel like your kind of self-worth is kind of like, you're just like, your confidence is shattered, and you're just like, well, this may be all there is for me, but the whole time it's not. It's really not.
So before you got out of that place, were you in a place where you tried to live in acceptance of the fact that it may not be for you?
I did for a little while. I was just like, okay, this is just what it is. I'm just going to live my life and whatever. If it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I was just like, I'm just going to focus on me.
Yeah.
I had graduated school, and I'm just like, I'm trying to get a job.
Yeah.
I'm not about, to wish for this and that every night. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm just like, I'm good. It's cool. It happens. It happens. But I think the more that I started to heal, and the more that I started to let those walls down, and let in some friendships, that was very healing for me. Like having a new community was healing for me, and joining the church and getting involved, singing again, because during that dark period I also stopped singing for like a year or so. Like I was not singing anywhere, serving anywhere, singing on any groups, nothing.
And you did not want to. You like,
no, I did not want to. I was like, I'm focused on school, and I don't want nothing to do with that. Yeah, wild.
So you meet this new community, and talk to the people about the value of good people.
Yeah, I feel like good people, first you have to let your guard down in order to see that good people are good. Because if you have this wall up, how can you see over the wall? You can't see the goodness that's in front of you. And these people, you in the back of your mind, you're thinking, oh, they're going to do this. Oh, they don't really, oh, they're not genuine, or, you know what I'm saying? And that's not the case. You have to give people a chance. And
Absolutely.
that season taught me how to give people a chance. And
Absolutely.
once I gave people a chance, I met some of the greatest people, at my church, and even outside of my church. I met my husband. But the crazy thing is, I had always known of my husband.
Absolutely.
We'd always been like, that when the group scene was really heavy, when I was heavy with, Marquise and whatever, and Charles would be on those flyers. It was the Raleigh Durham area had a heavy circulation of certain groups you knew would be at the concert.
Yeah.
You knew who was gonna be, and so
Yeah.
we had always known of each other. But the river brought us closer.
So was he at the river?
He came shortly after me.
Ooh.
He started attending the river shortly after me, and my best friend Brandy, she sang with him. She still sings with him, soprano. But yeah, and she invited him too, I believe, because they went to a previous church together that they no longer attended, and so I think she had been inviting him. And then at the time, I had already been there for maybe like a year, started singing on the praise team, and so he started coming, and then I'm talking about the marriage details now, but like how we got together.
Because I want to know. No, I need to
know.
know because I'm like, were you like, oh, what up?
No, we started getting, no, it wasn't like that. He says I wouldn't give him the time of day, but like when he first,
I can see that.
no. No, I really wasn't on that.
You
that.
were
So I
really,
was just going.
so were you still on that I'm focused type vibe when he first came?
Yeah, I was focused, but then I knew he was cool. Like we was getting cool. It was like that's my dude. Like he's dope. Like I knew he had, he sings. Like it was like Charles, who does not know Charles Clark? Like come on now. And so he started coming to church, started singing on the praise team. We got closer and then Brandy was also a mutual friend.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember one night Brandy had a birthday dinner or whatever, and he always talks about the dress that I had on.
Oh, let's go!
But yeah, so after that birthday dinner, it's kind of like we started like talking more, and so that's when he,
So I got a question. When you're talking to him, do you ever in your mind go back to the place of saying like, hey, maybe some things are possible?
Yeah, because Charles, he literally, he showed me something completely different than what I was used to. And so that within itself, it showed me like, wow, like these things, okay, this may not be too good to be true. You know how it's like, who sent you? What are you doing here?
Yeah.
It's like, is this real? But it was very real. And, he was persistent, and he was not in like a creepy way,
but in a I want you in it.
Yes,
you gonna be mine
very
type of way.
establishing what it is. You know what I'm saying? And so that meant a lot to me. Very intentional. Very intentional. We had a solid friendship. We always tell people we had and still do. That's my best friend. A solid friendship. It was not like, oh, I met him, we just started dating. No.
Yeah. How long were y'all friends?
So like I said, we always knew of each other. I remember we used to I always tell him, we were friends on BlackBerry.
Good God Almighty.
Yeah, I do. I remember to this day we were friends on BlackBerry. But we were friends for a while when he got to the river before we started dating. Yes. And then I started singing with him not long after we dated. He had asked me one time before would I sing with him. I said no. That was in my closed off period. Yeah. I was not singing with anybody. I did not. I wasn't trying to do that. But
absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Yeah.
So how long were y'all together before y'all got married?
We were together a year.
Yeah.
We were friends for a year. He proposed after like 6 months though.
That I'm about to say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
That man knew what time it was.
Yeah.
He already knew. Did he tell you like, hey, you're gonna be my wife, right?
He would make different hints. He would ask me stuff like, so what kind of what's your idea of a dream wedding? Like what kind of thing? We would talk about stuff like that.
So are you still in is this too good to be true when he's asking you these questions?
Like when we were dating?
Or were you like, okay?
I was like, okay, he's asking me like, but yeah, I still
look at you! Oh, this is amazing!
No, but yeah, the day he proposed, I was just like, what? Like it was a total surprise. And it's crazy because he was planning to have like our family and friends there, and it was gonna be a surprise, but it ended up just being us two. Like he said he changed his mind on the day he was gonna do it. And it was perfect because it was just us. It was just us.
And that's probably what you needed.
Yes, because he knows me, and he thought about it. He's like, she wouldn't want to crowd. I love my friends and family, but it was just perfect the way it ended up. Like he got the ring. He told his brother, once he got the ring, he called his brother. He said, yeah, I'm going to do it today.
Oh, let's go.
Because mind you, everything is planned out to do it on this day.
With all these people.
Once he saw the ring, he was like, yeah, no, I got to do it today.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was perfect. It was perfect.
So fast forward, you guys get married.
Yes.
Y'all have a son,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes, Grayson.
How old is your son now?
Grayson is 2.
What was that like? Finding out you were pregnant. That's like another. Oh wait, maybe I can have these things.
Yeah, that was wild to me, and it's crazy because I got pregnant with Grayson when I was 32. I'm about to be close to 35. So, yeah, and so my grandma always brings this up. I do not recall ever saying this. She said, "Do you remember one day you said I'm not having kids till I'm 32?" I was like, "What?"
But you know what?
Who says that?
But that
Apparently, I did.
But
Like
that,
a long time
how old
ago.
were you when you said that? Did she tell you how old you were when you said it?
No, it had to been a while, and I do not recall, but
Yeah.
apparently
well,
I
you
said
spoke
that,
it.
and so, but yeah, we got married in the pandemic in a child's home. Like that within itself was just, it was a joyous time. But just think about how the world was. It was a different type of navigation. Like,
Yeah.
no, not all of my family got to see
Yeah,
Grayson
because
right away.
one person can come in at a
Even
time.
our wedding, we did not have our wedding that we planned on having, but it ended up being us and our wedding party and literally our parents. And we were able to take our pictures, but we didn't have an actual ceremony.
Yeah.
We got married at our bishop's house in his backyard. And then we had taken our pictures on the day our wedding was supposed to be, but we haven't had like an actual ceremony. When we renew our vows in a few years, we plan on having a celebration with, friends and family. But yeah, we were able to have an anniversary party.
Yeah.
But yeah, pandemic, baby, and just I was just like, wow, what?
But I'm gonna tell you this though, because my wife and I didn't have like a wedding either.
Mm-hmm.
We got married with our pastor and a couple of our friends.
Mm-hmm.
And to some people who like really want to do the whole wedding thing,
Mm-hmm.
it can be like, oh man. But like the marriage is more important than the wedding.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
We are so glad to this day how things ended up.
Jesus Christ. The marriage is more important than the wedding.
Yeah.
Because you end up spending a whole bunch of money for people to come who got all kind of
people,
opinions and carrying on
all
and
types of
ding.
opinions who you won't even hear from after the wedding.
Right. And it's like, man, that cost a lot of money for that.
Right. And these are the same people who show up to weddings without gifts. It's like, you want us to feed you and you come in here empty-handed.
Empty-handed.
But yeah, it's just, we're glad it ended up that way. That was nothing but God, because just the stress of who to invite, who to, oh my God, like, and just the cost in general.
Yes.
Like, we're like, yeah, it was a God thing. We're glad it was just us. We were out there boo-hooing. We had a videographer. We were out there boo-hooing, saying our vows, and just our wedding party was just like this. Just nobody but us. It's crazy. Just like nobody but us for the proposal, nobody but us for the wedding. It was just perfect. Just
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So now let's talk about present times. After going through all of that stuff and getting to the place where you are now, how do you feel?
Oh my goodness. I feel amazing. God is amazing. Yes. He, every day he reminds me that, I'm never late. I'm right on time. I'm never late. My promises are still yes and amen.
Yes and amen.
Still yes and amen. And, what you didn't think was possible is very much possible. And so when I look at my life now, wife, mother, entrepreneur, the owner of Grace Wins LLC, I am a marketing manager during the day, and I am planning to further my education this year.
Yeah.
So I just all these things, and I sing, I'm a worship leader. And so I'm just like, God, I thank you. Yes. I have a wonderful husband, wonderful son, supportive family. Yes. I'm just thankful. I'm just thankful.
So before we go, look right here.
Yes.
If you had to speak to a young lady, let's say she's between the ages of 13 and 18, and she has her walls up, what would you tell her?
I would tell her that what's coming is so much better than what you feel right now. I promise, even though it feels dark and lonely, you may be confused, you're wondering, what is going to come out of this. Just know that God wastes nothing. He wastes nothing. So the only way out is through. You have to go through it. You have to go through it because you are going to look back and thank God that you went through it. You're going to come out better. God wastes nothing. And you're going to have a wonderful testimony. Just endure.
This has been another episode of the RXS podcast with Adriane AJ Clark. Thank y'all for watching and thank y'all for listening. Jeez.
Peace.
Take the time to realize that you got that fire. Keep it burning, don't let nobody put it out. Just live your life. Every day you wait, take the time to realize that you got that fire. Keep it burning, don't let nobody put it out. Just live your life.